tip, okay? They had a 14-point lead going into the fourth quarter. The big number that I always look for, as you know, is the turnovers. Baker Mayfield had 2 interceptions to 0 for Jared Goff. And if that's the case, you're going to win a whole lot of games. They rushed for the football collectively as a group, over 100 yards. The Detroit rushing game was there. They didn't get 175, but it was about 120, which was a good number to have going along with Jared Goff being able to stabilize things in the play-action pass game and not turn the football over at all. The scratching thing and mind-boggling to me, out of all the situations in the games this weekend, other than the kickers missing field goals, is Todd Bowles, really good friend of mine. Been knowing Todd Bowles all the way from our Jet days and coaching me in Dallas and all those sort of things. Why in the hell would you go for 2?
I don't know. Thank you. Tell me,
I'm like,
why?
I'm sitting there and I'm saying to him, I wanted to text him so bad, but I knew he wasn't going to answer in the middle of the game. And be like, yo, dude, what are you doing? You're chasing
points. It's 4:37 left. We got 4.5 minutes left in the game. Why?
4.5 minutes left in the game. You kick the PAT. There's now 7. You don't get it. Okay. It's 8. That means you got to score twice. Okay, to just tie it up. Which didn't. I don't know. Was it a call sheet thing, Michael?
Yeah.
What was it?
It's the analytics. You have more opportunities. Since you have 2 chances at going for 2. So they tell you there, go for 2. So if you come back and get the touchdown, now you're kicking the extra point to win the game. And if you come back.
Let me ask you something, though, Michael. Let me ask you something.
I understand. I'm just telling you.
Would Jimmy Johnson have done that?
Would
Jimmy Johnson have done that? No.
After Coach Johnson.
No.
After Coach.
So put the analytics out.
I'm with you.
We just scored a touchdown. Kick the PAT. Kick the PAT.
Right.
Now by 7 with 4+ minutes to go. You get a stop. You go back down, you score, you kick the PAT, you tie it up.
I'm with you because there's something to when you're down and you're looking at that clock and you say, hey, we're down 7 points. Or if we're down 8 points, that's a long ride. You know what I mean? You're like, we're down 7. All we need is one drive. And mentally, that's a harder thing to click. So that's why, and that's the thing I think coaches miss sometimes. Like, okay, I understand what analytics say, but if we've come all the way back, I want my players to see we are literally a touchdown away. We kick this right here. That's going to go back to what I told y'all. Hope dictates effort. Like, man, we here now. All we need is a touchdown. It'll give you more effort. That's why I don't like when they do things like that. But listen, Jared Goff threw the ball 43 times.
Yes.
43 times and did not turn the ball over. I love this little love fest thing they have with Jared Goff, and he talked about them chanting his name after getting, basically kicked out of L.A. Now you go to Detroit, and I mean, they love you in Detroit. When I interviewed St. Brown, he told me, he said, man, I was a 4th-round draft pick. He remembers everybody that got drafted before him. Everybody that got drafted before him. He said Jared Goff called him. He said, as bad as I was feeling, I couldn't believe that he called me on draft day. He said, man, I'm looking forward to get to working with you. We're going to have a great career together. He said, as soon as they got together, they started taking off. That was a game played perfectly for Detroit. Tampa gave up the 3rd most yards to tight end. Laporta did what he did. And then they gave up the 2nd most yards to slot receiver. And St. Brown did what he did. I knew they would lose that game. Next week is going to be a little more difficult for Detroit, and we'll talk.
I would say. Keyshawn, allow me quickly to go back to the 2-point conversion, because I want to say there's this thing in football that you guys know way better than I do. It's called momentum.
Yes, you lose it.
The throw that Baker made, if we could see the touchdown throw to Mike Evans that set up the 2-point play, if we could see the setup throw. It was so good. It was so Baker. It was so Mike Evans.
Beautiful touchdown.
It's just beautiful.
Perfect.
Do you know what that did? Do you know how that lifted the sideline of the Bucs in that crazed stadium up in Detroit?
Yes.
You have to cash the momentum. You have to add the exclamation point on it. with the PAT because it feels so different to be down 7 as opposed to down 8. So then he goes right back to Mike Evans, which is fine, trying to throw the fade to him.
Yeah.
And I did not think it was pass interference. It was well covered. I'm going to give the kid.
It's not pass interference because Mike Evans didn't give me enough. If Mike Evans drive back through here and try to come at this ball,
he did not fight back for the ball.
Get it.
If you fight,
get it.
If he slows down like he's trying to get it, and the guy runs him over, that's a flag. They got to throw that flag. He almost caught it on his back, right here. He had it for a second on his back.
For a second.
Yeah, I just needed the effort.
This took Skip, to your point, a lot of momentum away from them. Now you talk about Jared Goff throwing 43 times, Michael, 43 times and no interceptions.
Right.
I hate to belabor the point and continue to go back at it, but if you stop them, PAT, they get the ball back with 4 minutes to go. They're in their 4-minute offense. Either they're going to run it 3 straight times and get nothing, or eventually they're going to throw it. It's going to be a clock stoppage because of an incomplete, or you may get a gift from Jared Goff. He's been known at certain situations to do things.
Dallas.
You know, he's been known. That's all I'm saying. You know, now I bet you Todd Bowles in them analytics, he's going to throw that damn stuff in the trash.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, speaking of Jared Goff throwing interceptions, again, I'm a big Baker fan. I can't help myself. I thought he just threw the hell out of it yesterday. I've never seen him deal any better than he was dealing yesterday. So he needed one break early in that game, and Jared Goff gave him one. He threw a present to Jamel Dean in the end zone. If we could see the early throw, it's a second goal from the 3, and this is 9:13 left in the first quarter, and he throws it to Jamel Dean. And listen, do you know how, speaking of momentum, do you know how big it would have been to the visiting team if you cancel all 7 points out, if you just give them none? You got the ball at the 20-yard line because Jamel Dean caught the football. It's just one of those plays. You either make it or you go home, and they went home.
Well, he played DB for a reason, can't catch.
Right. Boy,
okay, well, there you go. All right.
That ball on
and then he got hurt and was out of the game.
He comes out of that end zone. That could have been a pick 6, 100 yards.
Okay, now I got to get both of your responses on this, both of your breakdowns. I love Mike Evans. Occasionally he drops a ball. He dropped a touchdown pass from Baker against Philadelphia on Monday night. This early throw that got tipped up into an interception. I thought he needed to get his hands up a little quicker and at least control the ball if he's going to not catch it in front of you as opposed to tipping it up into the sky where C.J. Gardner-Johnson can corral it. If we could see the throw over the middle.
As great as Mike is, when you see color on them end cuts, when you see color on them end cuts,
is that what it was?
You see color, right? That linebacker's right there. You're not used to work in the middle of the field like that. So, you know, he see color. So it's called a sneaky peek a little bit there. He trying to protect himself and catch the football. You know, and Mike Irvin, his playmaker, can tell you all about that.
Yeah, and he has to bring that ball down. I'm going to catch this ball in my chest right here.
You are.
Right, because, hey, listen, those guys are looking to take him out. And he knows that, and that's why you see the crunch that comes together and that ball goes up in there. That's exactly what we're talking about. All of those people are around him. So Baker, I'm going to need Baker to put that on him.
Put it a little bit lower toward the stomach and allow him to go down and protect himself.
I'll buy that.
But even though it was a little high, you still got to go in there and get it. Because it's the playoffs. You go ahead and you sacrifice at least one rib for that catch. At least one rib.
Okay, so all year long, I wondered and I fretted and I sweated over the fact that they were sweating Mike Evans on his contract. They're allowing him to play it out, hit the free agent market after this year. And it always gave me a little cause to pause because I would think, well, is Mike's heart really going to be in this if they're not going to pay him? And after that early throw, I thought, oh, my God, has he just lost a little focus here? Does he not really care that much about this game? But then he shut my mouth real quick because he came back And
that play right there.
He had a game.
That catch.
One, that throw. Whoa.
This is
Whoa.
6'5". This 6'5" going down on a football
6'5",
like this. I can't even tell y'all how difficult and how exceptional that is right there. The focus like he has right here to come down and make that play is incredible.
And he had to go down like that because the trajectory of the football changed once it started to come down from flight. And now, as he's trying to locate it in the lights and all of those sort of things, Skip, that ball started dying on him. But he had the wherewithal and the wits to know, okay, I got to slide into this because if I stand straight up, I'm never going to be able to get to it. So let me get down on the ground.
So the irony after the game was Mike Evans said Baker Mayfield is criminally underrated. I can say the same thing for Mike Evans. I think he's criminally underrated. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know why people think that he's not rated, because he's rated in my book as one of the top dudes in the league. 10 straight years, 10,000 plus, 1,000 yards plus every single season, despite having a number of different quarterbacks throwing the football. I mean, what else? If the Bucs don't sign him back, then it's their loss and somebody else's gain.
And especially
you got
this guy, because let me tell you the value of a Mike Evans, especially in this system where everybody's trying to design stuff to beat you, scheme on scheme. Mike Evans gives you that one guy that says,
I don't need that. Yeah,
whenever it all breaks down, throw it up in the air to him. I've been screaming Dallas needs one of these dudes that'll go up and get any pass anywhere, anytime. I call them an area code receiver. They're going to catch everything in the area code.
Dallas
and that's what
you want Dallas to get him now.
I was just throwing that in. Dallas needs a receiver.
So you want them to pay him $25 to $30 million and CeeDee Lamb $30 to $35. That's what you're asking for.
Something like that. Okay. Whatever it needs to get them both. Are you joking? It ain't my money. I need the talent on the field.
Hey, Keyshawn, does Mike Evans remind you of you at all? Bigger, taller?
No, he has better. He has better down the field awareness than I did, because I played everywhere. And whatever shots I got, it was a prayer in the sky. I had to catch it because I might not get another one based on the offenses.
Okay, that's fair.
But he's a tree. There's no question that I was a tree, but I played inside, outside. I moved around. I mean,
you did
a little bit different, but I understand where you're going at.
Yeah, but a big guy.
A big guy
that can transition.
Yes.
You have big guys that can't transition, but he can transition.
He's a much better down the field home run hitter than I was. There's no question about it.
Right. But I'm talking about transition in and out of cuts.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of time, tall guys, they can't break down, and they can't break down and come in and out of cuts real fast. Remember now, we have long strides. One thing I had to do, I had to put a beep on my head and cut down my strides because I was running with long strides. Why is that so important, Michael? As a wide receiver, in order to make cuts, you need ground contact. I can't be flying like this. So you have to cut down those strides to go in and out of cuts. He's so good at it. He's so good.
And that's the thing with me, Skip, is I was big, but I played small when I needed to in short areas. I had great short area quickness.
And awareness.
And awareness, too.
All right.
Because the dudes was hunting.
One other quick throw. I just got to show this from my man Baker, but he threw an out route to Cade Otton. If we could see this throw, it was a 27-yard ball. It was the best ball he threw all day, I thought. Just to say, Baker made some money yesterday. That's not it. No, that wasn't it. There's another one. Not sure this is. I think we don't have the right one. This isn't the right one. Anyway,
but I'm with you on that, Skip. He did, Skip. And some of those plays, you remember when he was getting ready to throw and somebody hit him and he still came out and made a play. It was like, I said, Baker loves this. It looks like he's getting beat, he's getting tattered up, but he's in that fight.
He certainly made some money yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
They would be foolish.
Yes, he did.
They would be foolish, Skip, if they did not re-sign him. Now, I'm not saying that we had this conversation earlier, I think in the month or so, about what they should do with Baker. I'm not saying it's a 6-year deal. What I am saying, it's an opportunity for them to put him where he needs to be financially for the next several years until he either flames out or they figure it out at the quarterback position.
But I'm not bringing Baker back if I'm not bringing Mike Evans back, because this is the best receiver Baker's ever had. This is the biggest, This is the most
No
dependable
doubt.
guy he's ever
No doubt.
had. If I'm not bringing him back, then I got to discuss this thing.
So then that means you're starting all over then.
And that's what I don't want to do. That's why I agree with you. I think Tampa should do a 2-year deal with Baker and make sure they keep Mike Evans, let him finish his career for the next 2 or 3 years there. Tie them together.
Okay, so my conclusion to what I watched yesterday was congratulations to the Lions, but you get kind of a booby prize because now you got to go to San Francisco. Would you guys agree that it's going to be rough for Detroit as San Francisco?
I'm not going to agree.
Right.
I'm not going to
No,
agree.
you like them.
I'm not going to agree because I don't know what it's going. Look, I thought that Green Bay would go into Dallas and the young guns would come out of there and be like, oh, we did well. Well, guess what? They was on the flight to San Francisco. I also thought that Green Bay would go into San Francisco and San Francisco would probably beat them up pretty badly. Well,
They win that game.
They should have won that game in many different ways. So I'm not going to just all of a sudden, because San Francisco has been at the top of everybody's charts all season long, that this Detroit team is just going to lay down because they're going into San Francisco. I can't call it like that.
And I talk about this all the time. It's about matchups. I just talked about this.
Yes.
This is a more difficult matchup for the Detroit Lions. But I will say this I give you, out of all the teams in the NFC that could have gone up against the 49ers, this is the most physical team that they will face, the 49ers. The Detroit Lions, probably the toughest and most physical team outside of the 49ers in the NFC.
And by the way, they are the spitting image of their coach, Dan Campbell. Wouldn't you agree? And you guys both know him. Keyshawn played with him.
And over the last month of the season, meaning into these playoffs or whatnot, I don't count the last game of the year, but if you go back and you look at what Baltimore was able to do in San Francisco, it hasn't been smooth sailing, and we don't know what's going to happen with Deebo Samuel in his shoulder come Sunday. Obviously, we got a whole week, but you don't know. You just don't know.
All right, up next, we got to talk about the other championship game, the one in Baltimore. I'm going Lamar over Mahomes. Who you got?
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.